No one will ever question your devotion to Stallone. And I'm not telling you you're wrong. I'm just telling you you're wrong. And unfortunately, I'm going to have to walk you into this next category. And if you want a cigarette and a blindfold, you can have one because you're not making out of this alive.
All right, baby, it's time to rock. We got a great one today. We're debating two of the greatest of all time. Please let us know who you think is the best in the comments by leaving us who you think's number one. And then also like, share, subscribe, all that great stuff. Please take back the algorithm. Get us on your radar. And as always, enjoy the show.
You want to talk about versatility? You want to talk about stopping my mom will shoot?
I knew you were going to
talk about.
All right,
you
say
want
it.
to talk
Go
about
ahead, say
versatility?
it. It's one word. Say it. I want you to say it. It's one word. I want you to say it. Go ahead. Give me with your versatility. I know what you're going to say.
Don't trip over your own dick on this one. You're about to. You're about to trip over your own dick on this one. Okay.
Nuts on your chin there, Bernie.
Okay.
Nuts on your chin.
I don't know what happened between Rocky 2 and Rocky 3, but I bet there was a needle involved. Boom, I'm going right for the throat. You don't know.
Needle?
No,
I'll needle you, you little pencil
I'm not gonna
dick. I'll needle that little pencil dick.
You're not getting any freebies from me.
Dirty
punk.
slut. No, after last time where I nutsed on your chin, you little hooah, you little
don't try to
cuck.
Jingle All the Way is a pretty decent family Christmas comedy.
Shut your poor mouth.
It's a pretty decent family Christmas comedy.
Poor mouth.
Go check out Tomatoes right now. I guarantee you, if you go on to Netflix right now, Jingle All the Way is going to be like a top 12 played movie right now.
No way is it.
If it's on Netflix.
If it is, it's because of Sinbad. All right, it has nothing to do with Arnold. You. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Working Perspectives podcast presents Ask AI. I'm Matt Lavelle, accompanied by the one and only Bern Doesn't. On this show, we'll be asking AI the hard-hitting questions and seeing if AI truly has all the answers. There's no question too crazy, no inquiry too outrageous, and no query too queer. AI may have all the answers, but we're here to prove they can't have great answers without great questions. If you want to send us some questions, then do, because guess what? We're using a fan question tonight, Daddy-o.
First time ever.
Shout out to Miss Metal, aka Sue Matthews, Alloy 1100, for sending in this suggestion to debate, because we're going to debate it. God damn, I feel like she knows this better than most people, because this is a perfect suggestion.
I can't argue with that.
Yeah, but if you want to send it in, you can send it on all podcast platforms and YouTube at Work Perspectives Podcast, or comment on this episode. Also, please remember to check out all our shows airing Tuesdays at 8 a.m. Eastern Time and Fridays at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. So, with that being said, tonight's question is, hey AI, who's better, Sylvester Stallone or Arnold Schwarzenegger?
Oh my word.
If you know us, you know us. And if you love us, you know that you love us. And this is what we're talking about. Shout out, Miss Metal. Great question. Let us know what you think. Enjoy the show. Daddy. Tell me, is it Sly or is it Arnie? God, nuts on the chin, Miss Metal. Nuts on the fucking chin, Miss Metal. Am I right or am I right, Bern?
What a massive shout out. Massive shout out to Miss Metal.
She's
Massive shout out. What a great question. And something that really hit us right in our hearts, right in our guts, and right in our nuts.
Right? Singing to your cockles?
singing straight to my cockles.
Singing straight to my cockles, Daddy.
This is going to be another bloodbath for your boy here,
Yeah, you're gonna get
Benoit
slaughtered. Like I slaughtered
Boucasse.
you with Pepsi and Coke, and slaughtered you with pancakes and waffles, and slaughtered you with, Godfather 1 versus Godfather 2. I mean, Bern, I'm pretty much undefeated.
You have yet to even score a point on the map, buddy. It's a nine.
What?
It's 9-0 after the first round,
What?
and I'm
Are you
only
kidding me?
not.
I have like a couple 10-8 rounds here, babe.
I'm only not pinning you because I'm having so much fun.
You fucking slut. You trying to tech fall me? You think you can
I'm,
fucking tech fall? I'm tech falling you.
we're getting close, baby. We're getting
Oh,
close.
fucking tech fall, daddy. So, like we said, though, Bern, Miss Metal sent us with a great one. We're debating, honestly, I mean, no matter what, they're two of the greats, right? Two of the best to ever lace them up, right?
Respect.
Don't get it twisted. We're debating, but I genuinely love and adore both of these men. And I think that's universal, is that the feeling towards both of these actors and these just, titans of industry. Am I right?
Well, that's the thing, man. Like, they're not just actors. They're writers. They're directors. They're artists.
Yeah.
They're activists.
Yeah.
They're politicians. They're
Yeah.
uh,
They're heroes.
heroes and champions
Yeah.
and barbarians and Green Berets. I mean, these guys, between these two dudes,
Just the best.
if you can't find a dude, if you're a dude and you
Mm-hmm.
can't find the kind of dude you would want to be between all of the things these dudes have done, then I
Yeah.
don't think you're a dude. I don't think you're a dude.
Yeah. These are dudes that are daddies and daddies that are dudes. These guys are just, they've lit, like, talk
Dude
about
daddies.
they are dude daddies. Talk about diversity as well. Like, across the board, the resume of these guys, they've literally done everything. They both have had documentaries on Netflix that were fucking awesome.
Incredible. Yeah.
Absolutely. Both of them are awesome. I've watched them both multiple times. I've idolized both these guys my whole life, right? Like they've been fixtures of my life, my entire life, both of them, right?
Yeah.
And they've both their behavior and their mannerisms shape, I think, a lot of what men view themselves as and view like how they should behave, you know?
And also, like, since, in a lot of situations, we don't have the opportunity to say this, longevity, the longevity is tight. They're both still going, guys.
Yeah.
They're both
And going
still
strong.
going, and they both still are awesome.
Yeah. Dude, have you watched Tulsa King? It's awesome. Love it.
It's all right.
Just all right.
Let's get to the debate, shall we? You're not getting any freebies from me,
You
you
dirty
punk
slut.
bitch.
No, after last time where I fucking nutsed on your chin, you fucking little hooah, you little
Don't try
fucking
to-
cuck.
Let's get to the debate. Don't try to sucker me into Tulsa
You
King.
fucking white meat cuck.
I may have been born during the day, but I wasn't born yesterday.
So, okay, let's keep it moving. Bern, I'm going to let you kick it off. So, like we said, we're debating who is better, Sylvester Stallone or Arnold Schwarzenegger. Bern, I'm going to let you kick it off. You are representing Arnold Schwarzenegger, and I'll be representing the great Sylvester Stallone. Go ahead, Bern.
Yeah, so I think the right way to have this conversation is we got to start off in the cinema, right? I mean, we'll get to some of the other stuff these guys have done, and
for sure.
And but I think primarily they're known as actors, right?
Yeah, agreed. I mean, Stallone definitely is,
and as is Schwarzenegger.
I mean, he's known as an action star, not really an actor. But go ahead.
Oh boy.
You want your fucking needle? I'll needle you, you little pencil dick. I'll needle that little pencil dick.
No, I'm not gonna throw my trump card out early here. Here's how impressive Schwarzenegger is, right? As a human being, right? What do you win, Mr. Universe like 7 times in a row? He started acting in movies. They were dubbing his voice. They were like, listen, you have not yet learned how to speak English, and your voice is kind of insane.
Yeah.
But no one has ever seen a body like that.
Yeah.
And we need you to be Conan. You
Mm-hmm.
know, you're the only person who could possibly do it.
Mm.
So let's start off with physiques, right? I mean, listen, no one is ever going to argue that Sly Stallone didn't cut a pretty nice physique like Rocky 3
Yeah.
way, right? You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
Arnold Schwarzenegger was mandated to do that shit naturally
I feel
while he
like
was
it
competing for
was,
Mr.
yeah.
Universe. And I think Sly Stallone has been pretty open about the HGH. Like, I don't know what happened between Rocky 2 and Rocky 3, but I bet there was a needle involved. Boom, I'm going right for the throat. I'm
First
going
off,
right
they
for
were
the
both.
throat.
I don't. So Schwarzenegger is admitted to using steroids.
Shut up.
So they weren't only. So these two were both icons, right? Not only were they icons on the big screen, but they would revolutionize your lives icons, right? So the things they did. So for instance, right, Rocky 1, Stallone comes out, the scene where he's drinking raw eggs to get the protein, right? That then
Right,
became a fad. I remember my buddy's dad telling me, he's like, yeah, man, after Rocky came out, I remember going to football for summer, for the summer football, for, summer camp, football camp. And he's like, we're running around the track. And he's like, I see eggs all over because people are throwing up raw eggs because Rocky came out and everyone thought, no, now I got to eat raw eggs to get my protein in, right? And like then the different workouts he would do with the one-handed push-ups and chasing chickens and things like that. Those became like a popular fad on not only what like to build your physique and to be that guy, but to be that iconic character, the way he dressed, the way he looked, but also his physique and his body, right? So the same thing
sure.
with Schwarzenegger, right? Schwarzenegger was big on like he did the Iron Paradise thing. He was in Gold's Gym and everything like that. But I feel like maybe Schwarzenegger went for bulk and Stallone went more for cut because if you look at Rocky 4, right? Rocky 3 he was shredded, but Rocky 4, I mean, he legit changed movies. No one had ever been that in shape in a movie ever.
Well, let's make an important distinction here too, right? Before Schwarzenegger was an actor, he was a professional bodybuilder. You know
True.
what I mean? Like
True.
and a world class professional bodybuilder for like pushing a decade. Like I said, I think he won
Yeah,
Mr. Universe like 6 or 7 years in a row, like
I
something
think you're right.
stupid like that.
Yeah. He is
Um,
regarded as the best physique in the history of the Mr. Universe
right.
ever.
Now, before Sylvester Stallone got cut
Okay.
and shredded and huge, he was a dude. You know,
Just
he
a
was an
dude.
actor. He was a
Made him
writer.
even better. Commitment to character.
Well, commitment to character, but maybe an easier, I mean, maybe an easier foray into the world of Hollywood. I mean, Stallone could write, he could direct, he could
Yeah.
act. Schwarzenegger could flex, and that's what he showed up with. And 45 years later, we're debating who is better. I mean, we watched Schwarzenegger grow in the business. We watched him show up as a guy who came in dubbed over. And we watched him figure out how to completely take over and dominate Hollywood as, in my opinion, the number one action star who has ever lived. Not just an action star, but the number one action star who has ever lived. And
Can
I
you?
don't think if I made a list of 5 guys, Sylvester Stallone would be in it as far as action stars who have ever lived.
You don't think Sylvester Stallone is the top 5 action star of all time?
Right now, no, I don't. I don't.
Are you trying to walk me into something here, Bern?
I'm
Do we
not.
want to talk? Okay, let me ask you this. Like you alluded to, Stallone isn't just a physical presence. He is that, but he's also a writer, a
Mhm.
director, and an actor, right? He does all these things and produces, okay? So, can you name for me someone else who has arguably three of the biggest movie franchises ever? Arguably, Rocky, Rambo, and The Expendables that transcended what? So 70 to 2020 to 5 different decades, right? He's had a number one movie in 5 different decades. Okay, he is trans. He has. I mean, Rocky and Creed are
The
falling under the same
Expendables.
thing. But what?
The Expendables.
What about the Expendables?
The Expendables. The Expendables wouldn't exist without fucking Arnold Schwarzenegger.
No, they wouldn't exist without
70,
Stallone. It was his
seven,
idea.
yeah, I know. And
Wouldn't exist without Stallone.
70% of the dudes in the Expendables are doing an Arnold Schwarzenegger impression that they grew up watching when they were kids. You're telling
Oh
me
my
Statham's not out there
God.
doing his best? Listen, Rocky, Rambo, you got it. The Expendables. I mean, I think we can agree that the Expendables is probably where Schwarzenegger and Stallone's unique sensibilities come together. Wasn't Schwarzenegger in an Expendables movie?
Right. Yeah.
Maybe
He was
two?
in, I think he was in the second or the third one
Yeah.
because they were all number one in the box office, by the way. Number one movies in the world, all three of them, Expendables 1, 2, and 3. And Stallone came up with it, created it, and then all these guys are banging down his door to be in it.
Yeah,
Stallone's the
because
genius. That's
they're all trying to.
genius.
You're right. It is genius to put that together. But almost everybody in that movie is doing their best Arnold Schwarzenegger impersonation.
Bullshit. They're all doing Stallone does that. You're telling me that Stallone in First Blood doesn't blow out any action performance that Schwarzenegger's ever had?
I don't really consider First Blood an action movie, but
I mean, some say it was the original action movie.
I mean, I think it's more of a psychological drama. But that's what I.
It's
Okay, so
phenomenal,
no, listen,
regardless.
it's incredible, and I'm not going to sit here right now and tell you that Schwarzenegger has ever really been in a movie like that. Um, but I don't really consider like First Blood was a thing, and then First Blood Part Two was like, oh, that's a totally different thing, and then Rambo
Right.
3 was like, Jesus Christ, okay, like
What are we even doing? Yeah.
we're nowhere near
Did
this.
you see the most recent Rambo with where he's at the farm?
Yeah, yeah,
Actually,
you got me
pretty
on that
good.
one. It was, I
Yeah,
mean, it was
really good.
brutal, like
Yeah.
just.
The one before that though, where he's like in Vietnam or whatever, and he's just like blowing people
Oh
up with
wait, there were two new ones, right? Yeah, yeah. I
yeah,
was talking about the first one. I have seen the second new one where they also come to his farm, but the
yeah,
first one, I mean, he's shooting people from point blank range with like anti-aircraft
yeah.
missiles. I mean, those
He's
dudes
just
do damage on
he.
that village.
I think like the last Rambo, he was still in Expendables mode, like before he was able to get Expendables out of the system. Because he's like, look, I'm gonna write something, tons of action, tons of fun, big bang boom, and we're having a day getting out of there, right? You know what I mean? Like that's what he wanted with the action. But if you look at who, like, I mean, he's done amazing stuff with, and they've been iconic, and like they've been redone by other people emulating him at the highest form of flattery. I just remember like small things. Like remember Cliffhanger, right? Great movie.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
Great
yeah.
movie.
Pretty
Right?
good.
Okay. What about
Lithgow really stole
Demolition
the
Man?
show.
Remember Demolition Man?
Demolition Man was good. Demolition Man was good. It was no Running Man, but it was a good. It was the second
Okay.
best
There's no
man
What
movie.
about Judge Dredd?
It wasn't as good as Carl Urban's Dread, but it was pretty good.
What about Stop or My Mom Will Shoot?
For My Mama Shoot was no Kindergarten Cop, but it was pretty decent.
You fucking bastard.
Listen, listen.
We can
Here's
go
the
tit for
deal.
tat all day, motherfucker. You want to
We
go
can
tit for
sit.
tat? We'll go tit for fucking tat.
We can go tit for tat all day long. Listen,
You fucking cock smoking ass pirate.
I'm not gonna sit here and tell you that the '70s weren't Stallone's. All right. While Arnold Schwarzenegger was learning how to speak English, Stallone was doing First Blood and he was doing Rocky,
Yeah.
and those were incredible.
Okay. And then the 80s, he did Rocky 2, Rocky 3, Rocky 4, Rambo 2,
Bro.
Rambo 3, Tango and Cash. I mean, do I need to keep going?
Let me rattle off a couple Schwarzeneggers for you in the '80s,
Okay.
if
Let's
you
do it.
will.
I would love to hear it.
Terminator,
Okay.
Predator,
Okay.
Running Man.
Okay.
Okay, so we've seen a couple sci-fi movies.
Did
We've
any of
seen
those win the Cold War, Burn?
uh
No.
No, I
No.
would argue.
Rocky Four did.
I would argue they didn't. Um, let's talk about versatility then. You want to talk about versatility? You want to talk about
All
stopping
right,
my
you
mom
son
will
of a
shoot?
bitch. I knew you were
You
gonna
want to talk
fucking.
about
All right,
you want
say
to
it.
talk
Go
about
ahead, say it. It's
versatility?
one. It's one word. Say it. I want you to say it. It's one fucking word. I want you to say it. Go ahead. Give me with your versatility. I know what you're gonna say.
Humor. The word is humor.
Mm.
Arnold Schwarzenegger is legitimately funny. He's legitimately self-aware,
Yeah, when he
and
was
he
in
has been in
junior.
a couple comedies. You want a different one word? How about twins,
God
motherfucker?
damn it! That's the
How
word I
about
didn't want you to
twins?
say.
How
You
about twins?
smoking pole son of a bitch. Smoke
All right,
some pole, you son of a bitch.
twins,
Fucking DeVito.
hilarious.
Wins.
Arnold
You can't knock it.
plays the hot, super smart, kind of dope
He
kindergarten cop.
legit.
Arnold plays the ripped, super strong, kind of dope, trying to figure out kids.
I'll
Like,
tell you this, legit. Twins. Twins was fucking like it's very. I think this right when you're in a macho situation. One of the things I think that separates Stallone and Schwarzenegger from most other actors slash action stars is like the inability to laugh at themselves. Right, like you'll never see
mm-hmm.
Van Damme laughing at himself. You'd barely like Banderas did it later in his career, but like Bruce Willis doesn't like doing it. He has trouble doing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Travolta didn't like you know what I'm saying? Like these guys,
most
like these
alphas do. Most
right.
alphas have a lot of trouble stepping back and going,
But
here's
that
what's
just
funny
shows their
about me.
real insecurity. You know what I mean? Where it's like if you look at like Harrison Ford doesn't like laughing at himself. You know what I mean? Like
Nope.
these guys. But if you look at Stallone and Schwarzenegger are both fine with being the butt of the joke. And I'll tell you, in Schwarzenegger's case in Twins, he fucking nailed it.
When was Stallone ever the butt of the joke?
He tried to be when he did Oscar, and then
Oh,
and
no,
there's
no,
another
no.
one that he tried to
You
be like
just
the.
remember you brought up Oscar, not me.
Shut the fuck
Just remember you
up.
said I wasn't even gonna go
But
that
he
low.
tries to add humor here and there. You know, who's another one who didn't mind being the butt of the joke? Mel Gibson didn't mind it either. When Mel, like Lethal Weapon 4 Mel, like there's times Mel would be the butt of the joke and bring it. God, he's slept on. Fucking Mel. Mel is slept on.
He had a bit of
Next time
he
we
had
do something like this, it'll have to be Mel versus Val Kilmer.
Arnold Schwarzenegger legitimately has the kind of self-awareness where he can go and do a movie like Kindergarten Cop and then a year later do Terminator 2, which is insane.
Mm.
Last Action Hero, dude, come on. I don't think I've ever seen Stallone really be the butt of the joke. Even in Tango and Cash, he's the hard ass. Like,
He's like the Guido, slick looking
yeah,
Guido.
even in Copland, he's deaf,
Dude,
but like he's still the
Copland,
dude.
you cannot. Hey, he reinvented himself in Copland. He was phenomenal in Copland.
What are Stallone's best three action comedies?
Oh man. Oh jeez. I'd have to think. You know, I mean,
And so the reason I asked that is because
okay. I'll tell you one of his best. How about this? Suicide Squad.
okay,
Fucking nuts on your
yeah,
fucking chin there,
mm,
Bernie.
okay,
Nuts on your fucking chin.
yeah. As a
Nuts
70
on the
plus year
chin.
old, he did a voiceover. But what I'm saying is like the reason I ask you that is because that genre doesn't really exist, right? The action comedy is not really like you see Deadpool now, and some of the Marvel movies would fall into that now.
Mm.
I'm talking about Arnold Schwarzenegger in the 90s doing Last Action Hero, True Lies, and Eraser. I mean, these movies are legitimate action comedy movies, and he did them all three in a row. I
True
don't know that
Lies.
anybody has that kind of gimmick. True Lies with
True Lies is. I'm
Paxton.
saying Eraser though. Eraser was okay.
Are you? Yeah, but it was like almost as
Action comedy. I
funny
get
as
what you're
it was
saying.
kind of like it was. What
I
I'm
mean,
saying
I
is,
guess you've never seen Rhinestone, but whatever.
would you call that an action film? Would you
No,
call
no.
it? Would you call it a comedy?
I mean, it tried. It sure tried.
What I'm saying is Schwarzenegger kind of invented his own genre for a while. And I don't think that's a knock to anybody else. I just don't think there was anybody else who was capable of doing that kind of stuff. Like,
Mhm.
you know, we talked for years, we could put this guy here. I mean, remember in the last action, even in the last, here's how self-aware Schwarzenegger is. In the last action hero, he goes into a blockbuster video and walks past a cardboard cutout of Sylvester Stallone as the Terminator. I mean, Schwarzenegger got it, and he was like, "Yeah,
Yeah.
if it wasn't for me, he'd have been that guy."
Yeah.
But I'm
Maybe.
here. I think Schwartz. Listen, they're both kind of one of one guys. I will tell you that as far as a filmmaker goes, I've seen more from Stallone. I've seen him write shit. I've seen him direct shit. I've seen him act in shit. I've seen him sell shit. Um, I just think Schwarzenegger is
I
overall larger than life and was able to do things that no one has done before and no one has done since.
I feel like, Stallone will do things like sometimes one of the things that Stallone has done is he will sometimes beat a dead horse, right? Like, that is true. There's four expendables. He was in, but then like there's I mean, but I don't know. I mean, I think he knows how to take advantage of something. Like, but the fact that there was six Rocky movies, right? Like, I think he has like a safety blanket sometimes where he needs a hit, and then like okay, the sixth Rocky movie wasn't great, but then that gave him the juice to come up with Expendables after that, right? And then maybe the Expendables he did four of them, but then he was able to get some juice and do Creed off of that. Then he did
Sure,
Grudge Match. You know what I mean? Like then he's like stepping in on stuff like Suicide Squad, but he's also stepping into Guardians of the Galaxy and having great drop-ins there. And then now when he's on Tulsa King, which Tulsa King is fantastic. Absolutely fantastic.
that's
Taylor
pretty good.
Sheridan, hottest writer in Hollywood right now.
Yeah,
Right? So I don't know. But then like there's things that he did. He did try the comedy thing. Like if you look at Paradise Alley,
no,
so in Paradise Alley, he manages his brother who's a wrestler,
right.
right? And his brother beat Terry Funk, right? Terry Funk had a different name, but his brother's in-ring persona. Do you know what his name was?
I do not.
Kid Salami.
No way.
Yep.
All these years,
All these years, Bern.
all these years, you're telling me now that that's a Paradise Alley callback?
Kid Salami.
Listen, no one will ever question your devotion to Stallone. And I'm not
No
telling
one.
you you're wrong. I'm just telling you you're fucking wrong. And unfortunately, I'm going to have to walk you into this next category. And if you want a cigarette and a blindfold, you can have one because you're not making out of this alive. And I'm sorry to kill you um, with a newborn at home. But you want to talk about iconic? You want to talk about pop culture? You want to talk about what stirs the masses and what people remember?
Yeah.
How about a catchphrase?
What? Yo, Adrian?
How about an iconic line? Well, what would you say Stallone's most iconic line in a film is? What's the one that people yell at him walking down the street? What's the one
Probably
that he'll
Yo,
be known for?
Adrian.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. A-
Uh,
Any other ones pop to mind?
Man, what would we say?
What was Rambo's famous catchphrase?
They drew first blood.
He only says it once in one movie.
I mean, you
I'm,
didn't have to rely on gimmick catchphrases, but
I'm not talking about gimmicks. I'm
Can
talking
I ask
about
you this, Bern? All right, go ahead. Go with your
no,
thing, and then
no, no,
I'll,
no,
and
no,
then
no.
I'll, go ahead. You
You're not
can
gonna
take your,
fucking
your
push me
gimmick
off
little
of
cuck,
fucking.
little bullshit, your little tagline cuck fucking white meat cuck bullshit, and then I'm going to take my nuts, I'm going to put them on the chin of that afterwards. So go ahead, hit me.
If I'm a cuck because Stallone is, I'm sitting in the corner while Schwarzenegger fucks my ex-wife. Um, I'd be happy to get his autograph. That wouldn't bother me
Do
the
you
least
think
bit.
Sam still, is it Sam Schwarzenegger? Is that his
Oh
name?
man, I heard he was
Sammy Schwarzenegger?
Schwartz.
Sammy
Uh,
Schwartz?
I
Sammy
don't know.
Schwartz? His
I feel like my
Schwartz is as big as yours. Sammy Schwartz.
I feel like my son would have mentioned it if he was like ripped. My son's obsessed with his abs. He's always like, Dad, I have an 8-pack. And I'm like, you have vanity muscles and no body fat, dude. Get out of my face. I will body slam you. Take your bullshit abs and get out of my face. I'm just
Man, he's really
oh,
taking protecting his mom to the next level.
I
Christ.
will mush your face in the snow,
Is
dude.
he
There's
in
nothing you can do about
jujitsu
it.
yet? Have you got him in
No,
jujitsu or anything yet?
in the spring. We're starting in the
You
spring.
got to get him started because he needs it.
Um,
He'll need it. He'll definitely need it because
but
he'll need a check as far as like to know like because he's the only guy in his house, right? So
yeah,
he'll need a fucking check to know like his shit does like
he's okay.
that he ain't
Yep.
hot shit, but he'll need to know like he ain't made of glass and he can stand up for himself. He needs jujitsu. He'll need that, man, for
Yeah.
sure.
No, I know.
Yeah,
Anyway,
you need it too.
yeah, I do. Back to catchphrases.
Hit
Um,
me, daddy.
Schwarzenegger invented the stupid catchphrase. Schwarzenegger invented like the I'm going to say this thing that's super badass, but kind of wink at the camera. That's been emulated in every action movie since, right?
Right.
So you go Terminator, I'll be back,
I'll be
right? You know, I
back.
mean
Yeah. Okay.
that's probably the biggest one. But what I
Get to the
enjoy
chopper. Get to
get
the
to the
chopper.
get to the chopper is from
It's
Predator. That's a
it's
pretty
not a
decent one.
tumor.
It's not a tumor from
Uh-huh.
Kindergarten Cop. My
Okay.
favorite, though, is from Last Action Hero in the very opening scene where he says to a guy, he's going to walk in, and the cops, the sergeant's like, "You're not allowed to go in there," yada, 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 blah, blah, blah. And he goes, "Do you want to be a farmer?" And the guy says, "What?" And he goes, "Here's a couple of acres." And he kicks this guy in the balls, and he flies like 35 feet into the air and across the parking lot. And I always loved that he spent that whole movie being like, okay, I'm kind of famous for doing these really cheesy catchphrases.
Yeah.
So now this movie, I'm going to do the absolute bottom of the barrel worst catchphrases. And those ended up being my favorite. I guess my point is Schwarzenegger has a self awareness and a sense of humor that I don't necessarily think Stallone does. I think Stallone is way more serious, and that's okay because he's made some more serious pictures. But for my money, I'm more entertained by Schwarzenegger's career than I am by Stallone's. Just entertained on all. If you're counting all the different aspects of what entertainment means, I laughed, I cried, I got psyched up, I was, like I think he touches all the emotions a little bit better. I think Stallone does what he does very well, but I think it's more serious and I think it's a little bit darker.
Okay. Let me ask you this, Bern. Okay.
Just me.
So there's a book, right? A book of what a guy did in this book was he went to this place called the Philadelphia Art Museum
Mm-hmm.
and he stood at the top of the steps for
Mm-hmm.
one day, right? Stood at the top of the steps of the Philadelphia Art Museum for one day and he wrote down everyone's story that ran up the steps. And they're not called the art museum steps to most people. Guess what they're called, Bern? The Rocky Steps,
That's
right?
fair. That's
And
fair.
he wrote a book compiling the different stories of the people that were inspired by the great works of Sylvester Stallone to come from all around the world to the city of Philadelphia to run up some stairs. I've run up them. You've run up them.
No.
Honestly, Lavelle Lane is right behind them. And we know
Lavelle
what I've
Lane
done.
is
You know the running up I did at Lavelle Lane, Daddy.
running up, running down, running all around Lavelle Lane.
Love Lavelle Lane. But the art museum became a symbol of hope, a symbol of the underdog story, a symbol of overcoming the odds. So much so that there was a fictitious statue put there, then that statue was taken away, then that statue was put back.
Mm-hmm.
Also, if you ask people from Philadelphia, the fighting city of Philadelphia,
Mm-hmm.
who their favorite athlete of all time is, guess what?
Don't trip over your own dick on this one. You're about to. You're about to trip over your own dick on this one.
Maybe I'll trip over it when I put my nuts on your fucking chin again with the fucking nuts on the chin.
So one of the greatest boxing cities in the world, who is their favorite athlete.
All right. So, but I'm
No,
just saying,
No.
I'm
Finish.
I'm
No,
going to tell you
finish
this.
your thought.
I'm going
Finish
to
your
tell you
thought.
this. I'm going to tell you
Finish your
this.
thought.
No, I will tell you. Well, thank you. Thank you. But I was going to finish
Go
it
ahead.
even if you want me to or not. All right, you chode smoker. You chode smoking
Whenever,
ass bucket. You
whenever you're
fucking
ready.
ass clown
Whenever you get around,
cunt nugget, son of a
whenever you get
bitch.
around to it. Yeah, whenever you get around to it, because you just tripped
I
over
am
your own
around
dick
to it.
in such a hilarious way, and no amount of this is going to walk you back. So continue. Just finish your fall.
Fine. Would love to. Yeah, please.
Who's the fighting city of Philadelphia? Who's their favorite athlete? Go on,
That's how great he is.
say it.
It's probably Rocky.
Wow. And what about
Everybody
all the real boxers who came out of Philadelphia?
they've all been compared to one man.
How do you think Joe Frazier feels about that statue in front of the art museum?
He loves it. Everybody
Yeah.
loves it. Everybody,
And
dude, this is how great he is. I know a lot of the fighters in Philadelphia. I've trained with them, and guess what? I mean, I will say this, okay, is that when you're younger and you watch like Rocky and all that stuff, you do get inspired, and it's true,
for
right?
sure, for sure.
But like I remember being in the fight game, and I will always love Rocky, and I'll always love the Rocky movies, but you don't watch them the same after you've been in the game. It's not the same. What he depicted is an incredible work of fiction and fantasy and heart and drama
Will.
and
It was all
will,
about
and it's
will. Yeah.
it's incredible, right? It is an incredible story, right? But when you're in the game, that stuff it almost makes you angry to watch it,
Just wide open stance, just 9 straight rounds of haymakers with no one ever
It's
picking their
just
hands up.
not what it is. That's not like the heart. Like I don't know. I feel like sometimes
I
if
will
you're
I will
really if
I
you're
will
really into it,
say
they give heart like true heart. They give it's not that. It's
right.
something different,
I will
but
say
it's different for everybody. Go ahead.
the fighting got way better in the Creed movies. The fighting got way better
Well, he
in the
revolutionized the fight. He revolutionized action movies again by, I mean, just like the different way choreography is done in fighting movies, the different way choreography is done in action movies. Stallone has revolutionized it multiple times. Because if you look at like the first Rocky movie, right, with him and Carl Weathers, they're using the sound. You know what the sound effects is? If you listen to it back, when they land a punch, the sound effect is cannon and musket fire when they
yeah,
land a
that makes
punch,
sense. That makes sense.
right? And then you transition from that to Rocky Four, where he was no actually telling Dolph Lundgren to punch him, and Dolph Lundgren
Yeah.
cracked his orbital bone and really fucked him up and whatever, right? Then now when they're in Creed and it's like revolutionary, the in-ring act, it's so good, right?
Yeah.
But that kind of stuff, they've changed the game and up different things and whatever. But that's just how Stallone does. He makes things better all the time. That's just him.
Yeah.
Whatever. He's
He,
forever evolving, forever evolutionizing and stuff like that.
yeah.
But
And until they threw him out of the Creed franchise, he was really a huge important part of that.
right. I mean, did you see the third Creed?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, I mean,
I
thank
guess
God he left.
they gave him a break. He needed a breather. Yeah.
Well, the whole thing is he doesn't like John G. Avildsen. It's
Yeah.
a big deal.
Yeah.
They don't.
Yeah.
They don't.
They
They don't
don't
get along.
they don't vibe.
But both him and Sylvester Stallone's and Schwarzenegger's documentaries are on Netflix and they're great. But let's get some final thoughts, Bern. We're heading towards the top of time. What do you got for me? Talk to me.
I think Schwarzenegger has a more larger than life persona. I think he's been more
true.
diverse as an actor. I think
not so much.
he's actually funny, whereas I don't think I've ever actually seen Stallone be funny in anything, even when he's trying. We didn't even get
Watch
to
Rhinestone again.
buddy. Not for all the tea in China am I watching Rhinestone again.
Dude, I'll say this, dude, bro. Dolly fucking Parton, baby.
Listen,
she is fucking slept on as an all-time smoke.
Okay,
all-time smoke.
You look at like
not mediocre.
Not mediocre. When it was down to that late 80s and be like, all right, where are these guys going to go? Schwarzenegger was doing Running Man. Stallone was doing Over the Top. They're both awesome movies, just not for the same reason. Uh, I think Schwarzenegger is more charismatic and draws you in more and can do more and has probably made more B plus to A movies than Sylvester Stallone has,
Not a chance.
catalog wise. Now, does he have any A pluses? A couple. Does Stallone have any A pluses? He might have a couple more. But
Yeah.
after that, there's a lot of B minuses and
What
C
is
pluses.
what is Schwarzenegger's best movie? What's his best performance, best movie?
Uh, Predator, Terminator 2, Twins. I mean, it depends on what kind of movies you like.
Okay, out of those three, does any of them beat Rocky? No. Does
No,
any of them beat Rambo First Blood? No.
probably not.
Yeah.
But I said that. I said like Stallone's got some A pluses and then a shitload of C minuses. And I think
Oh, Christ. I mean, dude,
Schwarzenegger lived.
we all saw Junior, all right? Not everything in Schwarzenegger's catalog is great either, you know? I mean,
I'm not.
when Hercules or whatever, Hercules comes to New York, that's almost unwatchable.
I don't even remember that. Um.
Well, you should. It's his first film. Or
Oh,
is
you
it,
talking
what
about?
is it?
Oh,
Something
Hercules comes
Comes
to
to
New
New
York. Yeah,
York.
yeah, yeah. That's the one he was. He was. Yeah, that's his first film. He wasn't even his own voice. The point
Right.
is, I think that. Uh, I think that Twins might be the fifth best movie Schwarzenegger's ever done, and I think it kicks the absolute living Christ out of whatever the fifth best movie Stallone's ever done is. I just think Schwarzenegger hangs more in that B to B plus to A minus range, where I think Stallone's had some great ones and has been in a lot of mediocre and
You're
dog
right.
shitty
He was
stuff.
so good in Batman and Robin too. You're right. Thank you for Mr. Freeze. And oh, let's not forget this one, Bern. And
It,
I knew you couldn't
they
forget this
they
one.
paid him $40 million to do that, man. Like
Okay. I
Stallone
mean,
would have done that in
sure.
a second.
Right. And I'm surprised he didn't do Jingle All the Way.
Jingle All the Way is a pretty decent family Christmas comedy.
Shut your fucking whore mouth.
It's a pretty
Shut
decent
your
family Christmas
fucking
comedy.
whore mouth.
Go check
Shut
Rotten
your
Tomatoes right
fucking
now. I guarantee you, if you go on to Netflix right now,
shut,
Jingle All the Way is going to be like a top 12 played movie right now.
no fucking way is
If
it.
it's on Netflix. I don't know
If
if it's
it
on
is,
Netflix.
if it is, it's because of Sinbad. All right, and it has nothing to do with Arnold. You
I think
fucking whore.
I think we
You
all know. I think we all know that it's not because of Sinbad. Jingle All the Way. Not a terrible flick, you know? It's got
shut your
something for
fucking
everyone.
stupid slut bastard. It is a fucking awful, terrible movie. It's the worst movie ever, ever.
It is an absolute fine movie for that catalog of movies, which are like, all right, holiday bullshit, PG 13 comedy.
Can I ask the difference? What's the difference between Conan the Barbarian and Conan the Destroyer?
Well, The Destroyer's a sequel.
No. Hmm. I mean, Stallone got sequels right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
You know what
Rocky
I'm
Five is
saying?
a fucking masterpiece.
He got some of them right.
He also did
Man,
Rocky Five, man. Maybe
I'm
one
sure.
of the worst.
It's
Maybe
no
one of
foobar, right? It's no foobar.
I don't even know what that means.
It's Fubar was a movie that
Schwarzenegger was
Schwarzenegger
in
did in 2023. Yeah.
2023. He's 80. Who fucking cares what he did in 2023? Stallone did
Stallone's putting
Rock.
out great shit still.
Stallone followed up Rocky Four with Rocky Five. Think
He
about that.
didn't. He did
Think
not.
about that. Is there a worse sequel? Maybe Caddyshack 2 is a bigger letdown from the original than Rocky
Ah,
4 into Rocky 5. He solved the Cold War and then got cucked by a robot and robbed by Paulie and then beat up by a guy with AIDS. Rocky 5 is as bad as a franchise movie gets. And
it's
there's
not
no
great.
way
It's
around
tough
it.
to defend Rocky 5, but I'm not
Oh
saying
wait,
it's great like Mr. Jingle All the Way over here.
you forgot
Okay.
his iconic quote from that movie. Sue me for what? Oh, nice. It's nice to see Rocky broke and his kid's a queer and he's wearing like, yeah, that's how I want to see Rocky, broken, brain damaged.
All right, Bern. Well, you've had my nuts on your chin for long enough. Now it's time to talk to our good old friend Alan Iverson, aka AI, aka Gemini, because we're going to start using his first name because he deserves it. So
I'm
I
fine with
asked
that.
Gemini, I said, "Hello, Gemini. Can you tell me who is better, Sylvester Stallone or Arnold Schwarzenegger?" Right? And AI
Mhm.
responded by saying this. He said, "All right, let's go. Let's break it down. All right, let's break it down.
Okay.
Sylvester Stallone, strengths. Arguably a stronger actor with 3 Academy Award nominations. Booyah! He's known for his grittier, more dramatic roles, Rocky, Rambo, etc.
Hmm.
And he has written or co written many of his own films. Some of Stallone's weaknesses. Some of his films are considered underwhelming. It specifically cites Cobra and Judge Dredd.
Yeah, Cobra
And then
stuff.
he it also says Stallone's action movies tend to be more grounded and less over the top. Okay. Schwarzenegger, strengths. He has starred in some of the most iconic action films ever, Terminator 2, Predator. And then he's known for his larger than life persona and one liners. And then it also says that he has a wider range, including comedies with Twins and Kindergarten Cop being cited. His weaknesses. He has also starred in some less than successful films Batman and Robin, Collateral Damage, Jingle All the Way. And his acting is often seen as less nuanced than
That didn't say
Stallone's.
jingle all the way. You just
It
put that
did.
in there. No, I
No,
don't
I'm
believe
looking
you.
at it.
I don't believe you.
Okay, maybe I added it.
No, I
And
think you
then
added that.
and then we're going to go to box office. Box office, they say Schwarzenegger's films have slightly outgrossed Stallone's at the global box office, but
Okay.
he achieved this with fewer. He achieved this with fewer films, right? And then critical acclaim. Stallone has received more Academy Award nominations, suggesting stronger acting skills. That is true. Ultimately, here are some. All right, then it says, "Come on, give me a thing." Then it fucking placates. You can always,
Sure.
you can fucking, you should fucking, you fucking do this and do this. So ultimately,
Never
the best way to
fails.
decide is to watch their films and see. So, what can we, Bern, is there anything we can agree on here?
Yeah, we can agree that
They're both fucking great. They're
they're
both
both
fucking
great.
great.
They
They're both
both
fucking
had
great.
a super like they both started in the 70s and are still doing shit right now.
And killing it.
Um
They're
and
both
killing it.
icons. Icons.
Yeah. Schwarzenegger's never had to stoop so low to do TV if he made better financial decisions and made money. But
Yeah, he
um
never had. Well, he also never had the hottest writer in Hollywood right now, or in I guess America, banging his door down to star in a thing that he specifically wrote with him in mind. Right? Yeah,
oh
Schwarzenegger never did have that.
Taylor Sheridan is a star in one of the 7 shows he has on television right now. Yeah, he
Yeah,
made a
Taylor
deal.
Sheridan went to Stallone specifically for this role, but either way, let's say this though, Byrne. Right? They're both awesome. They're both fixtures of our childhood and adulthood.
Absolutely.
There's a lot of things you've done in life that they have like played a role in, knowing either if you've known it or not. They're both icons, and I truly am like just overwhelmed with just I really do love both these guys, and I do idolize them, and I look up to them very much. And if they would, Stallone is, I've said it before and I'll say it again, he is my all-time get for a guest on this show.
Yeah.
It would be everything if we could have him on. But but other than that, I mean, they're both awesome. This is a tough one, but obviously Stallone is better. What do you say, Brian? Do we have enough
I,
time? Do we have to get out of here? Is that no?
yeah, we probably have to get out of here. I value diversity and
Diversity and
humor.
inclusion. DI&I champion. Burn Pocketsy.
The AI champion, that's me. And Schwarzenegger is a monster badass and also super funny. Stallone is just kind of a badass who's a little bit smarter. And I'll take Schwarzenegger every day, all day, every day.
Well, speaking of Stallone being better than Schwarzenegger, this has been another episode of the Working Perspectives Podcast presents Ask AI. In case you're
I
wondering,
knew you
find all
lied
this
about
stuff.
Jingle All the way. I knew you lied about Jingle.
Oh, yeah, what?
I knew it wasn't there. I knew you lied about it. No.
Oh, I'm not lying that it was a fucking bomb.
You're lying that AI had it listed there, you son of a bitch. I knew you said
I bet if I asked AI if fucking Jingle All the Way was a bomb, they'd be like, yeah, it's fucking Hiroshima Nagasaki fucking bomb.
All right, cool. Next week, Jingle All the Way versus Rocky 5. Let's see what happens.
Done.
Sign up for that right now.
Fucking done. Done,
Jingle All the Way
bastards.
versus Jingle All the Way versus Oscar. Let's see what happens.
Jingle All the Way versus Stopping My Mom Will Shoot. We're on the marble. You want some of that? You want some of that?
All right, sorry, I cut you.
Yeah, it's all right. Speaking of cutting me off, in case you're wondering, you can find all our stuff and all our content on podcast platforms and YouTube at Working Perspectives Podcast. Hang out with us on Instagram at Working Perspectives Podcast. Join us on Twitter and TikTok at WorkingPod. If you'd like to be a guest on the show, email us at workingperspectives@gmail.com. Please like and subscribe. And, please check out all our content. Also, please take back your algorithm. You can do that by commenting, or you don't even have to comment. You can just subscribe to our channel, and you can take back your algorithm with the content you actually want to watch and not the stuff that they spoon feed you because YouTube is YouTube. All right? Take back your algorithm, like and subscribe our stuff, and you'll get more of our great content. We're putting out more stuff all the time. Honestly, I saw a thing from Mr. Beast that said, the reason that his first few videos stunk or didn't get any views because they stunk. And he just kept making better videos. So I'm trying to concentrate on making better, high quality, especially shorts clips. So please check it out. Let us know what you think. Watch, share, subscribe, like, all that stuff. We love you guys. You're the best. Thanks. See you. All right, look at you. You made it to the end of another amazing show from the Working Perspectives Podcast. Please remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe so we can take back that algorithm from all those noodles. We love you so much. Leave a comment. Let us know who you like better, Sly or Arnie. And just as always, be the greatest because that's what you are, because you love us and we love you. Thanks for everything. See ya!